Right, so we're all still busy gearing up for the election. Still can't tell you what date the elections are going to be, but we're busy getting ready for it. So much so, it's been a very busy by-election week. So the IFP doing rather well in one part of KZN, winning a ward off of the ANC. The ANC also losing ground to the EFF. I don't want to give away all the details because I've dragged in one of the smartest people when it comes to elections coverage in our country, a political analyst, an elections specialist, an expert, because that's really what he is, Wayne Sussman. I don't want to give it all away because I'll probably get it wrong because you are like a moving encyclopedia of elections and by-elections. So let's just start there if we can. Wayne, morning, by the way. Let's just start up in KZN. IFP, ANC, what happened?
Great. So September, the whole of September, I thought it would be quite a boring month of by-elections because the ANC was defending very safe seats. And the IFP wins this ward in uMhlathuze, which is, this is a township, it's the uMhlathuze municipality, it's a township next to Richards Bay. The ANC beat the IFP by 40 percentage points here in 2021. So they got 63%, the IFP got 23%. And here the IFP turned the tables in the ANC and won their second consecutive by-election in uMhlathuze. This has ramifications for uMhlathuze today, but this gives us a lot of insights into what might happen in KwaZulu-Natal in 2024, because uMhlathuze isn't just a rural backward in KwaZulu-Natal. This is the third most populous municipality in KwaZulu-Natal, so this is a very significant result.
It is, and I wanted to stay with KZN for now, because I know we're going to talk EFF and the ANC in Limpopo. We'll jump provinces in a second. For someone like you, and for those who don't follow it, obviously to the minutiae that you do, what do you start reading into, knowing whenever the elections are? I'm going to say May. It's normally around about May next year. Is it too early to start reading into this for the national picture?
So you might have a by-election result which just defies logic, and you'll say, look, that's interesting, but when we build a pattern of results, and in KwaZulu-Natal, certainly northern KwaZulu-Natal, and again, we're not just talking about rural northern KwaZulu-Natal, we're speaking about big towns like Newcastle, big towns like Richards Bay. You're seeing the IFP turn the tables in the ANC time and again, and that's why I'm someone who's saying that KwaZulu-Natal is in major play in 2024, and it's a province to watch, because on the one hand you have the IFP and the DA and possibly Action SA, on the other hand you have the ANC possibly falling under 50%. This will be a very interesting and significant province to watch.
When you say significant and important, I want to steal a phrase from the United States elections. You always hear this when they start voting. They start calling them swing states. Do we have a swing province? In your world, do we have something like a swing province?
Great question. We don't have a swing province. I think KwaZulu-Natal has its own kind of idiosyncrasies. Just to remind the viewers that the IFP was historically strong there. Jacob Zuma emerges the ANC leader and just pulls the rug underneath them, and now you're seeing the IFP gain a lot of momentum again. Do we have a swing province? Not really, but we are moving to a situation where our three most populous provinces, so the places with the major metros, the Western Cape, the Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal, are very much in play next year.
So I was mentioning Limpopo earlier as well, so not a good time for the ANC in KZN. It looks like it might be a bit of a troublesome province for the ANC up in Limpopo as well, except that's going red, not to the IFP, obviously.
Okay, so there are a range of by-elections also in the Northwest province. So if I'm going to just address the north of the country in one foul swoop. So again, you just asked a very important question. What trends do we pick up? So was it all doom and gloom for the ANC? It wasn't, because in Madibeng, which is, and I'm going to get to the doom and the gloom for the ANC now, but in Madibeng, which is Brits, the second most populous municipality in the Northwest, the ANC had an excellent night. And there are a lot of voters in Brits. So the ANC will take some comfort and hope from that. However, the ANC lost a safe seat in Makwasi Hills, which is near the town of it's the main town in that municipality is Wolmaranstad, near Klerksdorp in the Northwest province. The ANC lost a safe seat to the EFF. This is a great result for the EFF. The EFF have now won 4 seats off the ANC in the Northwest province. But Gareth, back to your question about 2024. When I a lot of analysts disagree with me, but I'm someone who's saying the ANC are going to lose ground, but I think they're pretty fine for 2024. And the reason why I've been saying that is because of the Eastern Cape and because of Limpopo. These provinces have over time been totally rock solid for the ANC. And in this round of by-elections, in the Blouberg, beautiful part of the Limpopo, the Blouberg Mountains, the Blouberg municipality, a rural seat, the ANC losing significant ground to the EFF. They're holding the seat, but they're dropping 20 percentage points.
Right.
And if the ANC are going to have trouble in Limpopo, that dream of returning to the union buildings without needing a coalition partner starts to fade.
And just as I start saying goodbye to you, I'm trying to think not just from the numbers side of by-elections, but I would imagine, Wayne, and tell me if I'm going off track here and I'm missing the point, I imagine for political parties like the ones we've been talking about, the ANC losing ground to the EFF in Limpopo and now the IFP taking away from the ANC are going to look at these numbers differently. They're going to go, we don't have an election date yet, but we've got some work to do. We need to get campaigning, don't we?
The ANC would have been rest assured a few weeks ago that with the Eastern Cape and the Limpopo and some of the other rural provinces that they're fine. They look at these results and say, wow, we've been working hard in these by-elections. What went wrong in Makwasi Hills in the northwest? What went wrong in Blouberg in Limpopo? What went wrong in uMhlathuze in KwaZulu-Natal, and what went right in Madibeng, and what can we use what went right in Madibeng going forward for the rest of these by-elections coming up, because there's going to be a ton of by-elections between now and the end of the year.
And this is why we're going to be, hopefully, if you're gracious enough with your time, we're going to drag you in as we get to them, because what ends up happening is, as soon as we get closer to the national elections and you don't follow the by-elections, you miss that thread, you miss that narrative. I want to call it an elections arc as to how we get to the national elections. But Wayne, always good to have you with us. You see, I told you, this is why we want to talk to Wayne Sussman all the time, because it's not just the numbers, it's how we got to those numbers, what the implications are as well, and what the bigger picture is going to be as we get closer to the 2024 elections.